What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James, talking to you today about some of the crypto news. Um, UK are getting upset at fan tokens yet again, and it looks like wider institutional adoption is set to continue. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll look at some of those news stories in a second. As always, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on my channel that I thought would absolutely smash it in the cycle. If you'd invested $100 into each one when I release the videos and you're still holding those bags, you'd be in profit for $51,400. This is no longer my portfolio. If you want to see exactly what I'm in, you can check out Copy My Crypto. That's where I share my live portfolio. Um, in the past sort of 6 weeks, we've had one of the coins 8x, one of a couple airdrops, one which airdrops people like many hundreds of dollars, one that airdropped people many thousands of dollars. So if you want to be a part of that and make sure that you can get those gains, then you will want to check it out. One thing that I keep reiterating is this cycle is going to go bearish at some point, and it'll be true bear cycle, not like the intermittent ones that we've been experiencing. Um, and when that happens and you've got an 80% retracement, if you've been banking profits along the way, you're going to have more funds to invest when the market is low. It's the best time. Everything's on discount. I found Phantom in the bear circle. That's up 316 times from when I found it. And I literally have got a list of the coins that I think have got huge long-term potential. I'm going to watch how they develop, who they onboard, how they retrace, and find entry points for them. Particularly for those coins that I think can 20, 40, 50, 100x in the next bull cycle. So again, if you want to know what they are, I'm going to be sharing them with a couple of my crypto members when the bear cycle finally kicks in. Let's start with the negative news. The old UK. So Arsenal Football Club has had 2 crypto fan token adverts banned after regulator rules that they were misleading and irresponsible. Basically, that one of them they tweeted out effectively talking about the fact that the fan token brings you closer to the club. But they just weren't highlighting the fact that it is a cryptocurrency. So, it's a fluctuating asset. You've got to buy chilies to buy the Arsenal Football Club token. It's the continued sort of crackdown at the moment on particularly fan tokens. But in general, crypto within the UK is very uncertain. Not in terms of if you can invest, you can certainly invest. It's more uncertain in terms of how people's perspective on it. Or certainly the sort of Bank of England keep reiterating you can lose everything. Regulators clearly don't know where they stand on it because they're not slamming um, places like eToro, which you're literally seeing an ad for here. Um, as long as you put your capital as at risk, you're fine. I guess I guess that's the rule. Um, but yeah, it's just the continued sort of stressor that the UK seem to be having about fan tokens. There's a whole BBC article um, about $262 million have been spent on fan tokens um, in this year, effectively. So um, it's an interesting one because I've said this before. I think the next evolution of the fan tokens is going to be, the trading cards. I mean, to be fair, there are versions of the trading cards out there that are pretty good. But we're going to see wider reaching versions of that will start getting into the mainstream over the course of the next couple of years. But fundamentally, the biggest stance that needs to be made really by the UK and by every country is regulation. Like, where do you stand? How are you regulating? What's your definition of a security? How can you define a crypto as a security? And that quite well leads into this article. So this is effectively about crypto in the industry bracing for wider adoption, which it is. It absolutely is. There's more competition, and there probably will be some level of regulatory clarity over the course of the next year or so. The SEC case with Ripple should actually end up being one of those, a case that actually provides some clarity, because fundamentally the ruling within that should then be applicable, hopefully, to any further cases against any potential companies behind a cryptocurrency. Obviously, so this article, Devin Ryan, who's Director of Financial Tech Research at JMP Securities, has said clearly crypto is not just a fad. We've seen that over the past year. We've seen that over the past sort of 8 years now, or certainly the past sort of 4 years from the previous bull cycle to this one. We've seen a country adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. We've seen PayPal integrating cryptocurrencies as payments. We've seen Amazon and Walmart, Fidelity and Visa hiring for crypto-related roles. Visa has definitely been adopting levels of crypto. So obviously, all these companies are positioning themselves in terms of that. Facebook have done the same thing. We're seeing this because institutions are going to get in. It's inevitable. Like the biggest institutions in the world, in history, are going to end up getting into crypto because they're missing out if they don't. So how that plays into next year will be very interesting. What we should end up seeing is that those companies will start making announcements after there's been some level of regulatory clarity. They won't do it beforehand. I'd be very surprised. Now, Lucas Lagudis, who's the director at crypto hedge fund ARK36, wrote in an email that the firm expected in 2022 investors will see allocation to digital assets as part of their risk management strategy, especially given the increasingly inflationary economic environment and the declining bond yields. And again, that's something I've touched on this channel a number of times. Hyperinflation is a real thing, and it's wrecked economies all over the world over the past 3 decades. And we're in a situation where inflation is starting to ramp up to such a degree that the dollar's lost value, significant value compared to what it was at like in February of last year, March of last year. And as we've seen, obviously, the crypto space has grown enormously. I mean, right now there are, according to CoinMarketCap, 15,900 coins. We know there's way more because a lot of them aren't necessarily listed on CoinMarketCap yet. And the space will only grow. So, although a lot will end up going to zero as well when the bear cycle kicks in. Make no mistake about that. But yeah, in 2022, people will begin to understand the scale of what's possible with crypto and blockchain. And again, it's something I've touched on this channel numerous times. Blockchain technology will change the world. We're going to see AI. We're going to see supply chains that are being revolutionized. We've already seen that to some degree with the V-chain. Every industry within the world can be, to some degree, improved through blockchain tech, and we're going to see that. And it will be seamless, and it will be fast. We'll start really seeing when adoption kicks in truly, and it will be rapid. The question really now is, what's the regulation going to be? The SEC has obviously been avoiding a spot Bitcoin ETF. The SEC are obviously trying to clamp down on certain aspects of crypto, like lending, like XRP. So we're going to see how that plays. Genuinely, I think the XRP case is going to end up being one of the biggest landmark cases in crypto, because fundamentally the decision and the verdicts within the case will have to result in regulation. Because if the SEC lose, which is the expectation, then they need a very clear framework so that the next time they go after a crypto a company, then they've defined the framework. So then there's a case to be made. But right now the case is based on effectively hearsay between opinions rather than any clarity within policy. If, however, they win, then again they'll provide framework, and that regulation framework will be based in and around why they won within the verdict. Although I highly doubt that. But either way, the XRP case closes, and I reckon within 6 weeks to 8 weeks, we'll see a true we'll see a true defined policy for crypto within America, and that will then be the next step for your institutions getting in. And further to the institutions, Coinbase Prime is going to streamline institutional crypto trading by linking to the Infusion system. So if you're unfamiliar, the Infusion system, or the Infusion Order Execution Management System, is effectively what they're going to offer institutional customers on Coinbase Prime to streamline their crypto trades. What that will mean is that they'll be able to trade crypto assets directly and visualize crypto as part of their entire portfolio. This was an announcement made today. The Infusion platform is used by hedge funds, family offices, and allows traders to access multiple assets in one system. This is going to be integrated in the second quarter of 2022, so basically from March onwards. The moment this happens, again, this is the bet here that Coinbase are making is that institutional interest in crypto is only going to grow, which is absolutely my perspective as well. I think they're trying to get ahead of the curve. Can't blame them whatsoever. And the moment that they start seeing institutions utilizing their Infusion via their platform, obviously that's going to benefit them in terms of the overall growth of their shares. Institutional investment is obviously coming to crypto. There's no doubt about it. That's why we're seeing numerous companies, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Amazon, whether it's PayPal, whether it's Visa, whether it's MasterCard, setting up with either already integrating some level of crypto, hiring people for crypto-based positions, or and if they develop their own crypto. Either way, those ones that have yet to announce anything will announce after there's been policy announced by the US government. That's probably literally what they're waiting on. Develop and build, and then make the announcements after. But it's positive. It's positive because as much as we don't necessarily like, I think a lot of us don't like institutions. Part of the reason that many of us are in crypto is because we don't like banks. So it's one where it's a double-edged sword, right? We don't necessarily want institutions coming in and manipulating the market, but the moment institutions are in, it legitimizes the market. And then all of a sudden, you've got more money coming in. And more money coming in means more accumulation over time. From a wider time frame perspective, that's only a benefit. So, yeah. But that is the situation at the moment. Bitcoin sort of flat at the moment, but the altcoins are all a decent chunk of them are in double digits and gaining some momentum. So we'll see if that continues overnight. But generally, it's been a nice positive sort of 48 hours with crypto. So hopefully that continues for a little bit and we can get past Christmas without any sort of significant correction. That's it from me anyway. Hope you're all keeping very, very well. Very, very close to Christmas now. Hope you're all enjoying your time with your family. If you're new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. Even if you've been here a while, check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share my portfolio. Like I said at the beginning, we've had some huge wins recently. Airdrops that have airdropped people several $100, airdrops that have airdropped people several $1,000. An investment that got into like 6 weeks ago that's already 8x. So, if you want to be part of those wins, then you'll want to check it out. If you want to know what I think are going to crush it in the bear cycle, then you'll want to get in, because when the bear cycle fully kicks in, I'll be announcing the coins that I'm particularly watching that I think have massive potential for the next bull cycle. And as they retrace, I'll find the entry points I want to get in at, where I think there can be 40, 50, 100x gains. So again, if you want to know what they are, you're going to want to check it out. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.